out there, not in here.
Oh, yeah, voice of one. Get in here, you prick. Now, this is Redeye stream number 58. We're going to be talking a little bit about history, but we're going to open with today. So, yesterday, an Amtrak train wrecked outside of Tacoma, Washington. It just came out today that the train was actually going 50 miles per hour over the speed limit. It was going 80 in a 30-mile-per-hour zone. It derailed. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it derailed near DuPont.
DuPont, Oregon? Is this local, Mad Dodge?
DuPont, Washington. That stupid ad popped back up, so I couldn't hear a word you were saying.
Is that local? Is it in your state?
So the train was coming out of Oregon into Washington. So it derailed outside of DuPont, Washington.
Okay. So it's just on the other side of the border?
Yeah. No, and the really interesting thing is this train derailed off an overpass over Interstate 5. So there was motorists on I-5 who literally got hit by flying train cars. Miraculously, only 3 people died, and they were all on the train. No motorists were killed, even though 2 or 3 different semi-trucks were hit. Also, like 6 cars, it said.
Wow.
The national
any life lost?
3 people died on the train.
Oh wow.
It spilled over 250 gallons of diesel all over the road, but none entered into any waterway, which is good.
That's good.
Detours are still in place today for I-5, headed south to Oregon. And they are investigating. It says the National Transportation and Safety Board investigator in charge received a download of the event data recorder on the rear locomotive. There should be locomotive, but it says locomotor. Thank you, K5. That indicated the train was traveling at 80 and a 30. But this was a brand new high-speed rail line. This was the very first time a train had taken the high-speed rail line, and it immediately failed. What do you think about that? They just built this rail line.
I think that they may have pushed it ahead sooner than it was ready. I mean,
well, Madodge, I question the very premise that this is a high-speed train. It's going 30 or 80. That is not a high-speed train. That's a slow train to begin with.
Yeah. What's the high-speed train run like? The bullet trains, you know?
Well, like 100. Well, they can go up to about 200 miles an hour.
Oh, stuff.
You know? Yeah. So I mean, you're talking about 30 miles an hour. It's a high-speed train
for America.
What is it? It's not a train. It's a tram.
Well, what I think is this section of track, which went over Interstate 5, was supposed to be 30 miles per hour for safety reasons. And so they were going 80, which they probably came down from, over 100 miles per hour to 80. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the idea that you create a humpback on any train track is fucking retarded to begin with. That's the whole point about leveling. You level everything off as much as you can. Trains do not work well with, with inclines. They're not good with that. You got a lot of momentum, a lot of weight behind you. So the last thing you do is put a big hump in the middle of a railway track. That's just retarded. You raise the ground around it, and then you make a straight railway track, so you maintain the momentum as it travels. So whoever came up with this, and this guy was Kingdom Isambard Brunel. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, no, and okay. Obviously, I don't support the president on everything, and this is one of the reasons. So, 10:41 a.m. yesterday, I believe that was like 10 minutes after the train wreck. Donald Trump on his Twitter, the train accident that just occurred in DuPont, Washington, shows more than ever why our soon-to-be submitted infrastructure plan must be approved quickly. $7 trillion spent in the Middle East, while our roads, bridges, tunnels, railways, and more crumble. Not for long, exclamation point. Mr. President, people died. I think maybe save your domestic agenda for a little bit later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really that's vulture-like, isn't it?
Are they? Is there
Policy.
something? Is there a plan Is there a plan in place to work on our infrastructure? That'd be fucking great, dude.
Yes, there is, but was that the right time to tweet out? This is why. See, people died. I told you.
No, because that's just capitalizing.
Very, yeah, it's hideous. Just really insensitive, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. And usually, well, I still am. I support the president tweeting out whatever he wants without a censor. Why? Because then I know what he's thinking, at least sort of. And so he's thinking,
Good luck.
he's thinking right now, I have this domestic agenda that the Democrats are going to try and stop. Why? Because I'm a Republican and they hate me. So he's pointing to this as a reason why to pass it. Okay, do that in a week. Don't do that.
Could have done it. Well, even the next day would have been better, but not 10 minutes after. I mean, that is just opportunistic. It's hideous. It shows a narcissism, though, right? Lack of empathy, no real connection with people.
I think that's a huge problem all across the board, not just fucking politicians. I think that technology has made us a lot less empathetic toward our fellow human being in general.
Do you think so, Mole? Because if you look at charity online, it's like people just give money away without even thinking about it. To all these GoFundMes, all these crowdfunding sites, heck, even Super Chat. I see people, YouTubers, sitting there talking about whatever, getting $100.
I'm not saying all. I'm saying some. I mean, I think our what's the word I'm looking for? Our views have changed just slightly. Oh,
you mean values?
Huh? Values too.
Values.
Yeah, values have changed. There's still people. I'm not saying the empathy is totally lost. I'm just saying that people in general have became less empathetic to others around them. It's more like it's kind of like praying so you don't feel guilty about something. You want to help, but you don't really want to help, so you pray to do it.
That's like virtue signaling.
Just like giving money.
Like virtue signaling.
You don't think that's it had an impact at all, Mad Dodge?
Oh yeah, I think you're right to a certain extent, because it seems like it's easier to just use your credit card to give money to all these online charities. But when you're driving down the road,
just go out and light a candle.
Yeah, but when you're driving down the road and you see somebody that's broke as fuck, it's pouring down rain, they have a garbage bag on their head to stay dry. You can't hand them 50 cents. You're like, well, no, seriously, you can't hand them 50 cents because why? You're afraid they're gonna buy a beer? Fuck it, dude. Look at that guy. He deserves a beer.
Of all people who need a beer, he needs a beer.
Yeah, but I think you're like you said. I think that empathy's still there. It's just that it's so generic now that we don't care about people as people. We what good will it? The guilt. It's easier to give money to someone you can't see as opposed to get your hands dirty and talk to a real life street bum, like you said. No one wants that. No one wants to be that guy. I'm sure some people still get though.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's mainly around this time of year, too. Everybody's in the giving mood. All the local charities are getting their budget for next year pretty much in a month span.
Right.
But when it boils down to this train derailment, I mean, seriously, this was the first train to go on the new track and the guy is speeding? Come on. Somebody needs to lose a job here.
Yeah. I'm sure he will. Aren't they investigating him or anything?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they are. He'll lose his job. Just like, was it in New York, the subway guy? He was drunk on the job or something and wrecked the subway train? I don't remember. Huh. It happened a few years ago.
I don't doubt it at all.
Hey, Cabbage, you multiplied.
Again?
Oh, man. Hopefully Cabbage can make it back. Damn control room.
Yep, I see two cabbages. Hey, while we're sidetracked,
Told you, man.
I noticed people have that their avatar down in the bottom right hand corner. Is that everybody has it, or do you have to put it?
You go into your the creator studio and you add a watermark, and that's all that is. It's I think it's a quick button so people can subscribe. Yeah.
Nah. Okay.
Cut out later then.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're a little robot-y. Hey, Wood.
Wow, this is the robot stream, everybody. Welcome.
Yeah.
Oh, you're better. You're better now, Cabbage.
Yeah, well, I'm good. Wood tried to join or something, and then that created the fucking control panel again, which I killed earlier on, because everyone who comes in adopts the control room thing. It's all a pain in the ass.
So yeah, let's see. Donald Trump put out one other tweet yesterday. My thoughts and prayers are with everyone involved in the train accident in DuPont, Washington. Thank you to all the wonderful first responders who are on the scene. We are currently monitoring here at the White House. Now, the timestamp for this tweet is 10:51 a.m. The timestamp for the previous one, where he's shilling his own legislation, is for 10:41 a.m. So it took him an extra 10 minutes to talk about the injured people. I think the tweets should at least been the other way around. Oh yeah, I was just saying that he did tweet out after the first tweet for his legislation. My heart goes out, my hearts and prayers go out to all the injured. Blah blah blah. So is that what you were pretty much talking about? The president doesn't have anything else that he could do, perhaps. So he's like, my thoughts and prayers go out to you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't expect what more they expect him to do. I mean, like, everybody's blaming I'm not
out of order that
you are, Mad Dodge.
He spoke about dead people and how that proves his policy idea before he emphasized. He should have emphasized then.
But I'm saying, though, I mean, people are blaming him for shit that normal presidents never, ever get blamed for, dude. Never, ever in a million years.
Yeah, the California wildfire.
Yeah. What, did he said it himself? Was he out camping? That's what I don't get.
Do you think the president has ever been camping in his entire life? You think even when he was a private citizen that Donald Trump was out there building a fucking fire?
Not camping like we know camping anyway. Like maybe at Martha's Vineyard or something, fucking in a fucking $2 billion fucking, not $2 billion, but in like a $1 million priced RV. Hey, bud. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, it's all good. Yeah, I can imagine him trying to set up a tent. That should be an Saturday Night Live skit. I'm telling you.
It would be funny. That would be hilarious.
But yeah, okay. Let's see what other news is here before we dig into a little bit of history.
Two of us, and Cabbage is back again. You having internet trouble today, Cabbage?
What the fuck is going on? Well, I told you, it's that bloody control room. We all know what it is.
Oh, okay.
Well, it also doesn't help Wood keeps coming in and out, and I think he keeps adopting. Every time he comes in, he brings the bloody control room back in with him. Because I keep turning it off whenever I come in. He fucking pops his head up, and then it goes shit. Anyway, where were we?
I was just.
Mad's looking up something. Hey, boys.
Oh, fuck's sake. Not again. Here we go. I'm going to get dropped again.
What's wrong, Rod?
Oh, all right. So,
hey, boys.
You know
hey,
that
everyone.
Hey, how's it going, boys? You guys know that tax reform bill that was supposedly passed earlier this morning?
No.
No.
Oh,
I don't either.
Okay, well, they did pass a tax reform bill. But now the Senate is debating it once again after last-minute hiccups arise.
I'm going to look it up real quick so I know a little bit more about it.
Yeah, the House on Tuesday approved a massive tax overhaul that would usher in a steep rate cuts for American companies, double the deduction for millions of families, and a host of other changes in the biggest rewrite of the tax code since the Reagan administration. Passed on a 227 to 203 vote, with 12 Republicans defecting to join the Democrats in opposition. The Senate started debate shortly afterwards, with a vote expected overnight. Due to a parliamentary glitch, however, the House will likely have to vote one last time before the legislation can be signed.
Real quick, what article what's the outlet you're reading it from?
Oh, just a second, I'll give you the link.
No, I was gonna see because they got a Fox one and they got a CNN one, and I was gonna see how much different they were.
Oh, I'm on Fox.
You're on Fox. I'm gonna look at CNN just to see the difference in it. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Just as they're looking up to Princess Buttercup, I'm sure we all here hope you get better soon.
Yeah, get better, Princess.
Yeah, absolutely. It was just her birthday. Now she's sick. That's lame.
Yeah, and Christmas is around the corner.
Who's that?
But yeah,
Is that Buttercup?
yeah, Buttercup's sick.
Now stop eating butter.
Okay, so due to a parliamentary glitch, however, the House will likely have to vote one last time before the legislation can be signed. 3 provisions in the House version violated Senate budget rules, so they will have to be stripped before the final House vote on Wednesday. The $1.5 trillion package, holy crap, presuming it clears Congress in the end, will hand President Trump his first major legislative victory just days before year's end and the congressional recess. Today, we are giving the people of this country their money back, House Speaker Paul Ryan from Wisconsin declared Tuesday on the House floor. At an earlier news conference, Ryan said that families at every income level will get a tax cut, vowing that a family of 4 making a median income will see a tax cut worth over $2,000. So, overall, to me, it sounds pretty good. I always like cutting taxes.
Mm-hmm.
So your breeding this is a preemptive thing for your potential tax bracket. Is that what it was?
That's right. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
We thought way ahead.
You saw where it was going. Yeah.
Yeah. Lower taxes until the kids are all 18.
Well,
that'll work out.
Hey, while we got taxes on our tongues, that there's an election coming up, and with Trump's rating, that it looks like some Democrats might win some seats, but I don't think it's nowhere near enough to change the tides of things that are. Do you?
No. My hope would be
I don't think so either.
My hope would be a third party gained a couple seats, but I doubt that'll happen.
Yeah, but I don't think Democrats will gain any more power either. It's just not enough for them to take a majority of fucking the seats they need. But that is the pretty common. What is Trump's rating right now anyway? Do you know?
Off the top of my head, no. The country's pretty divided over him, so I would
say in the 40s somewhere.
Yeah, if I was going to guess, I'd say 45% approval rating, which isn't that bad. Obama was down to 38 for a while?
Yeah, 37, 38, yeah, something like that. I don't know. And like I said, I think people are fucking they're putting him under more scrutiny than they do any other president. Like I said, I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm just calling it how I see it. That's just the way I see it.
Yeah, but he's not really perceived as a member of the Republican Party, right?
No. Yeah, he is, but he's what do they call it when it's like a party member that doesn't fall in line with the rest of the party?
I'm not sure, but me personally, he was a Democrat for 25 years. He's only been a Republican for 6. I consider him a Democrat.
Which is weird considering, do you remember the 80s, or was it the 80s or 90s when he said if he ever ran, he'd run Republican? When was that? You remember that?
I know what you're talking about. I do not remember when he said it, or if it,
I want to
or
say
if
it
it's a
was
real
late
quote.
80s, early 90s. I remember him saying it. It was real. I just can't remember when he said it. I want to say it was on Oprah or some shit like that. If I'm not mistaken.
Well, and it's funny because when he said that, he said because he could dupe Republicans far easier than Democrats. Yeah. Maybe he was right. I don't know. Okay, since we're just bullshitting here, did you hear about that book that came out in the late 1800s that had Baron Trump in it or some crap like that? I only heard a little bit about it on some conspiracy YouTube channels yesterday. But did you hear about that? Like, it talks about Baron Trump and it talks about the last American president and a whole bunch of other shit. Hey, what's up, 40 ounce? You get your car fixed, buddy? Ah, all right.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember him ever being a Democrat either.
What do you mean, or a Republican? Because Donald Trump was a Democrat for a long time.
Yeah, I don't recall that actually.
Yeah, he used to donate to the Clintons a lot. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say about it really, because he donated to a lot of Democratic causes and stuff like that for a lot of years.
I didn't know that. I don't recall it anyway.
When they brought that up during the election, he said, "Well, that's what businessmen do. You put money in the right pockets to get what you want." Well, at least he was honest.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Wow, that's very honest.
I mean, he did build skyscrapers and casinos and shit, so he had to butter the right gears.
You know, the funny thing I think is when people talk about his business acumens, and they're like, "Oh, he's fucking went bankrupt 4 times." 4 times out of hundreds is very good, to be honest with you. I mean, sometimes business just doesn't pan out, you know, and you got to take risks in business before you can make it big. Now, someone of lesser means, yeah, that would fucking crush them. But someone like Donald Trump, it's just fucking, he tried something, he failed. I get it. I think it's funny though that people think it's such a huge deal that he's filed bankruptcy. I don't think it's really that important to you.
I don't know. What made me more mad was when he was like, "I took a small loan from my dad to get everything started." How much was the loan? $1 million.
But I mean, why does that make you mad? If you're had $1 million, would you borrow it?
Okay, but the stones on this guy to be talking to the American people like I took a small loan.
Well, that is a small loan to someone that's a billionaire, dude.
I suppose, man.
The last time I took a small loan, I got 3 months.
Yeah, right. Like I can't even get a loan for.
Yeah, but that was an unsecured loan.
and then he didn't pay his dad back with interest.
Like shit, man. I got to give the credit card. Like I got to get prepaid credit cards, homie. Like a small loan of $1 million.
That's just envy on your part. You can't be envious of him just because his dad's loaded and we're not. It's the way it is. Some people have better. Well, you can be, but I mean, it doesn't do you any good.
I'm sorry, I've had that working class chip in my shoulder since I was a kid. No, you can definitely hit people who go around, "Oh, my daddy lent me £1 million. Well, good for fucking you. Go and fucking die, you bastard."
Yeah, right. And no,
then again, voice. That's the difference. It's not the fact you've got money; it's how you act with the money, right? You don't have to go rubbing it in people's faces or saying "I'm so special" or something. You know what I mean? You don't
true,
have to.
Yes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I am a libertarian. I can be envious of the money, but I can't hate him because he has money. I can envy him and try and work to get as much money, so maybe one day I can give my son a small loan of $1 million. I can't even say it. You know what?
You have to have 6 million because you have 6 kids.
I give my kids $1 million. I wouldn't. I like seriously. When my son gets his first car, we're gonna go out and buy a piece of crap car and fix it up. That way, he works on it and he has to buy the parts and he knows what it's worth. I'm not just gonna buy.
And that will also make it his first car. That'll be the thing that he remembers the most. He'll be working on it with his dad, getting greased up. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't mean in a sexual way. Obviously, that would be inappropriate.
No, yeah, absolutely. He'll remember on that car, and he'll remember how proud he was of that car because he worked for it. Do you think Trump looks back so fondly on that $1 million loan? No, that was the first million out of billions.
Yeah, and the thing is, don't forget that most of his money didn't come from that anyway. It came from his inheritance. The majority of his money, in fact, one of the things. And anyway, Trump's failures in business, it's not him that loses. It's all of the investors. It's the venture capitalists. It's the people he gets to invest in these portfolios, which is why he became so toxic, you know? Because he took everybody else to the fucking cleaners. And he would get out, you know, he'd be out before, and then it just becomes an LLC, right? And so it's a limited liability company. He walks away. He's got his. And everybody, you know, like pension schemes and things that have been invested by these hedge funds and stuff, they're the ones who take the brunt of the losses.
Well, that's it. It's actually sometimes more financially better to actually go bust than it is to try and keep the company running. So, as he said himself more than once during the campaign, he took advantage of the laws that are already in place. Yeah, we can't really have this dead air, guys. So, you know. Apparently, we can have this dead air. Right, okay.
Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I wrote in the side chat that I had to go real quick, but I'm back. Besides dead air. No, okay, so enough Trump envy. I mean, yeah, he got a tiny loan of a...
filled it for him. One, come on, step up to the plate.
He got a small loan of, you know, $1 million. But moving on from Trump, so the tax cut, I think, will be pretty good. Hey, 40 ounce, are you here yet, or are you just away from keyboard still?
He's masturbating furiously. You can tell by the look on his face. Look at him.
Yeah, one way, the other eye on the other. Hey, Mole, have you heard any interesting stories this morning? I was chopping wood all morning. We're supposed to get snow on the ground here this afternoon.
Yeah. Do I have any interesting stories? I don't know. I can look to see if I can find anything.
You were trolling some creationists earlier. Want to tell the viewers about that for a minute while you look?
Oh, sure. I was hate watching Steve Anderson like I normally do. I don't know if you guys don't know who Steve Anderson is. He's a band from the UK and Canada and a few other places. Australia maybe. He's quite the hateful bigot. He like jumps up on his podium and says sodomites are all burning in hell. So he's a pretty lovely fella. And I was just you know, if you post on his if you comment in his comments at all, you're gonna be attacked by fucking, you know,
Does he
that's the way it is.
does he make videos or does he just do it on Twitter and shit?
Oh no, he makes videos. Like they're mostly like sermons. And then sometimes the break. What's that?
What's a channel name? I'd like to go and fucking troll him myself.
Oh, Steven Anderson, 1611.
Steven Anderson 1611.
Yeah, he's a. I mean, when it comes to Christians, he's a doozy, man. I mean, there's some like Kent Hovind that are just idiots, and Ken Ham's an idiot, but this guy's just he's a piece of work. He's like the biggest bigot you'll ever meet. And one of his videos today was talking about how Jesus is white. I was like, oh, okay, really, huh? That's funny that Jesus was a white guy in the middle of the Middle East.
That's how they knew he was Jesus.
Right?
Like I was saying off air, you don't know if he was fair skinned. He could have been fair skinned.
It's possible, I suppose. I mean, I don't know for sure.
Yeah, he could have been a mixed race.
What the? Hold on, I found an article. Remember that woman who shot and killed her boyfriend in that YouTube stunt?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah, she pleaded guilty to manslaughter.
He
I
did.
guess. She did.
But didn't he ask her to do it? Like, oh, that would be why it's manslaughter.
That's why it's manslaughter, not murder. Yeah.
I was thinking of a different story.
I can't believe that they didn't think that a fucking 50 cal wouldn't go through a fucking encyclopedia, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
they might not be physicists, but Jesus Christ, that's the strongest thing in the world. It'll take down a fucking elephant.
Well,
Why
not,
would you
not to sound too derogatory, but they were Americans, so intelligence wasn't that great.
All right, touche. I can't take that away from you.
Yeah, no, I'll be with Luis a little bit here. Remember during the hurricane in Florida, not that long ago, there was a bunch of people that wanted to shoot into the hurricane to fight the hurricane.
Hang on, seriously?
Yeah, it was a thing.
No, that was a meme.
Yeah, well, that got you back. Hi, 40.
Hey, 40. Oh, where'd it go?
So yeah, 40, I wanted you to come on because I want to talk a little bit of history here in a while. I got an early Christmas present yesterday. History of the World, the story of mankind from prehistory to the modern day by Alex Wolff. So I figured we could pick a random time in history and we could thumb through it and I don't know. Let's talk a little bit of history in a while.
Here's a crazy story. Man accused of felony DUI for allegedly smoking pot before driving. And he's held on $100,000 bonds. That seems a little overkillish, don't it?
Sorry, what did he do, Mo? You sort of broke up there.
I'm sorry. He's was charged with felony DUI for smoking 3 hits of marijuana.
Well, DUI is drunk under the influence. So how could marijuana even fall under that category?
DUI, it's DUII. Driving under influence of intoxicants.
Yeah,
right. But surely he was the one fellow on the road going about 12 miles an hour,
Okay, there might be more to it than that. The way you can be charged with DUI as a felony is if you have 3 or more prior DUIs, or if you commit vehicular homicide or vehicular assault involving an allegation of driving under the influence. So there's probably more to it than just he was smoking pot. He's probably one of them people with fucking numerous. That's still quite high bond for a DUI, $100,000.
I have to ask, are you saying that you can have 3 DUIs and still have a license?
Well, it's not very likely, but I mean, yes, you can.
Holy fuck!
Depends on how good your attorney is and how spaced out they are.
Fuck.
It also depends on what state you get the DUIs in. Like in Oregon, I think 2, and you're getting jail time and your license suspended for a year. And after 1, you could take diversion. You can only do that once, and it stays off your record. You get to keep your license, but you have to pay like $600 for the diversion class.
Jesus.
Yeah. I've never gotten a DUI before, but I know people who have. And yeah, they've had to go through diversion. They weren't able to afford it, so then they still got stuck with the DUI. Yeah, a big old giant mess.
That's a clusterfuck. I think in California I think it's the same, 2 or 3 DUIs and your license is suspended.
Am I the only one thinking there's something wrong with the Google at the minute? Because the last couple of streams have been, crackly.
Yeah.
Maybe have you your sensitivity up very high, Mod? Because I know if you set it way down low, it's
No.
it ups the conversation. It makes it sound better.
Yeah.
No, I haven't messed with any of the settings actually. I try to stay out of the control room because Cabbage will have a shit fit.
No, just turn the fucker off.
But so how long is she gonna
Not a
get in?
difficult request. Anyway, I've switched to Chrome anyway.
But how much jail time is she gonna get for manslaughter? I don't know what state that that stupid stunt took place in.
Oh, I don't know. I'll go back and look. Normal manslaughter though is what, like 10 years or something like that.
No, once again, I must have a lot of the wrong friends. A friend of mine actually went to prison for manslaughter. He got 4 years and was released with 2 years on probation.
Well, he did 4 years, or he did okay. Like every state, like Illinois has the 1 for 2 law. So if you get sentenced to 2 years, you do 1 year. I mean, they cut it in half on,
Life is cheap.
unless it's a violent crime, then you got to do 85%.
Yeah, I
but
believe
when
he
they're
got.
mitigating, yeah, but you've got to allow for mitigating circumstances too. You know, so
Oh, yeah.
maybe your friend.
But as a rule, most American prisons are like that. I mean, if you get sentenced to 30 years, you don't literally do 30 years. You know.
Yeah.
What is it in Oregon? You know.
I believe he got sentenced to 6 years for manslaughter, did 4, and had 2 on probation.
Yeah, and since it was manslaughter, he had to serve a little bit more of it than normal.
Well, it depends where you are, though, right? Because you got places with the 3 strikes, you're out. That's crazy.
California is one of them, but California also is like a 1 for 5. Like, so if you get 5 years, you do like 1. Because their prisons are so overcrowded, depending on the crime you commit, obviously. I mean, if it's a violent crime, you're going to serve most of your time. But if it's a non-violent, like drug offense, you're not going to be in prison that long.
Yeah, unless you keep failing UAs while in prison, because it's easier to get drugs inside than outside.
Yeah, well, some prisons, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what else we could talk about on that one. She was an idiot for even agreeing with him. He was an idiot for letting her shoot at him.
Right.
Like, no, I have a compound bow on the wall. I'm not going outside with an apple on my head telling my wife to shoot it off.
You don't like playing William Tell?
Yeah, I don't think she'd be missing accidentally there, Maud.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah. Make sure I don't hit her off first.
There was a.
She hasn't been sentenced yet. Her plea agreement calls for her to serve 6 months in jail and 10 years of supervised probation. What? How do they know if she hasn't? I don't understand that. If she hasn't been sentenced, then I don't get that.
Well, because
she has to serve if they haven't sentenced her yet.
Because once you do the plea agreement, that is made public. The judge can either accept the plea deal or throw it out and do his own sentencing. The fact that you plead guilty already screws you. You just hope that the judge agrees with the prosecution.
I actually think she shouldn't have went to jail at all. I mean, remember, there was no intent behind it. No, she didn't want to kill him. I think it would have been better if the judge had a rule that she should be neutered, because I don't think we want any more of that stupidity in the world.
Right.
Yes, and also circumcision. Female genital mutilation.
Well, I do think there is a point where you do get to a point where you think, this person is so fucking dumb, we have to not let them breed. You know.
Absolutely.
Yes,
eugenics. It's about time.
I'm showing my father-in-law, ties.
Oh my God! Was Margaret Sanger your grandmother?
No comment.
So yeah, she gets sentenced in February.
Oh yeah, sorry, I had to go get my son. He woke up from his nap, but I'm back now. Hey,
I
40.
think you're going to have to change the name of these live streams, lad. You can't keep saying they're red eyes when they're in the middle of the afternoon.
Well, they're in the middle of the afternoon for me, but over there in Cabbage Land, it's pretty late.
It's only
Hey,
half 11.
he's in Potato Land.
But hey, 40, are those wildfires still going on in SoCal?
Oh yeah. Yes, they
Me
are.
and Donald Trump setting them things.
I wish.
Of course they are. 40 was out all day with a fucking can of petrol, making sure they keep going.
Yeah, I was out there with that can of kerosene.
Trying to leave a trail down Hollywood.
Well, I mean,
Homemade flamethrower.
Yeah, the direction the fires are going, we might get lucky.
What, you mean your house might burn down and you can claim the insurance?
That would also not be bad. Oh my God.
Instead of fixing your car, 40, you should leave it, somewhere close to the fires. Claim the insurance.
Yeah, make sure you up your insurance to full coverage first.
Oh yeah. Go down south to see one of my friends, and oh, all of LA's on fire. That's I wish.
New car, new house, new life. New wife, preferably. Just make sure she stays home.
Well, let's be honest, that's the worst thing we ever did was let the women out of the kitchen. You're all fucking thinking it. I'm just the only one with the balls to say it.
So, has anybody seen that new pile of garbage known as Star Wars yet?
No, I haven't. Not yet. It's at the movie theater right now, but our movie theater is fucking disgusting. So I think I'll pass.
I've got no interest in watching it. They just disappointed me on every one since, I don't know, Empire. So
I'm going to wait until one of my mates gets it on DVD, and then I'll get a land of it from him because I am not spending money on it.
yeah, it doesn't deserve popcorn. No way.
Hell, if I
Well,
had just blowing up a fucking Death Star, that's probably the plot of a movie. Am I
No,
wrong?
there is no Death Star gets blown up in that one. I've watched about 8 different reviews with spoilers, so I sort of know everything that happens anyway. So
Oh, that's a fucking
Yeah.
miracle. I could have
Well,
sworn
they-
they were just going to blow up another giant sphere thing.
no,
You know,
apparently, Luke, is it all right if I go for spoilers? If someone wants to watch it,
Nah, go ahead.
right? Well, apparently, Princess Leia gets sucked out into space for several minutes, and then hang on, and then uses the force,
Sorry, she gets
and then
vital.
uses the force to pull herself back into the ship she was blown out of. If you
Yeah.
can believe.
Like
if
she
you can
was
believe
ever a
it.
Jedi, right? She never even met Yoda, but all of a sudden she's a fucking Jedi because
Yeah.
women's.
And apparently, this is one thing that drives me fucking nuts, right? There was a big deal made in the first movie that this Captain Phasma, that would be the all in the silver female stormtrooper, was this really badass fucking killer stormtrooper, right? Well, apparently, the ex-janitor who became a stormtrooper, the diversity hire, is able to kill her in this movie. So, yeah, that sort of tells you the sort of shit that goes on in it. Like,
Well, Boba Fett is going to come back in a wheelchair or something. Like friggin' Stephen Hawking.
Why would he need a wheelchair? He has that fucking jetpack. But no,
it'd be a jetpack wheelchair. Just to be inclusionist.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I found another story. This is pretty interesting. Nebraska motel managers plead guilty to enslaving immigrant. Yeah. So, Omaha, Nebraska, federal authorities say 2 motel managers enslaved an Indian immigrant for more than a year in western Nebraska, forcing him to work without pay and abusing him.
Was the immigrant here illegally?
Yeah. Okay. So, I can't say the names of the 2 motel owners. I believe they are Indian as well. Vishnu Bahai
So
and Lee
basically,
Labihin.
so basically, he was in the country illegally, right?
Yeah, just a second. I'll get there. Okay, so the 2 motel owners pleaded guilty in federal court on Monday to conspiracy and alien harboring for financial gain. The 2 were managers of the Super 8 Motel in Kimball, a town near Wyoming and the Colorado border. The unidentified man was taken into immigration custody in Texas after entering the U.S. illegally in 2011. The 2 motel owners, who also were living in the U.S. illegally, arranged to pay his bond in October of that year and then set up his transportation to Kimball, court documents and authorities said. The pair then forced the man to clean rooms, wash clothes, and do other chores for them 7 days a week. They isolated the man from guests at the motel and hid him from police officers in the area. They assaulted the victim on a regular basis and threatened to find the man if he were to escape. Human trafficking is a modern world's version of enslaving another person for profit, said Alex, a special agent in charge with the U.S. Homeland Security investigations. Blah. That is what these individuals had done to this victim. According to the U.S. Attorney Robert C. Stewart of the District of Nebraska, the case is a reminder that forced labor occurs in the U.S., not just overseas. A motel guest and local law enforcement helped the man to escape, the Justice Department said. They paid, they'll be sentenced March 19th, and they've already paid the man over $40,000 in restitution. Holy crap. So they separated this. So this guy was here illegally. They paid his bond. They then separated him from everybody else, beat him on a regular basis, and forced him to clean dirty-ass motel rooms for no pay. Yeah, I would call that slavery, would you not?
I would say that he'd have been safer off staying in his own country. So to any illegal immigrants watching, you come to America, it's going to happen to you. So stay away.
It's not slavery. It's not slavery. It's called serfdom. Know the difference, folks.
No,
welcome to the road.
I have sympathy. I have sympathy for some of the people who do trust people and pay them a lot of money to get here. But the simple fact is, you're here legally. You made the choice to come here illegally. That way, anything that happens to you is your own fucking head.
Yeah. But boys, what about the fact that, these people are spending, the equivalent of, they could live in their own country for 10, 15 years with the money that they're spending to get over to our country.
Yeah, exactly.
Spend your money wisely at home.
That's a link to that bigoted fucking preacher if you want it. Voice.
Thank you very much, sir.
The title is Synagogue of Satan, so that ought to be an interesting one for you. I haven't watched it. Should be funny.
Yeah, Mole, that's actually funny because last night I was just bored, so I was looking up the Book of Enoch to hear if there's any conspiracy theories about the Book of Enoch and whatever. And I ended up on some preacher's thing where he started preaching about the Book of Enoch and how it's real and blah blah blah. I was like, oh fuck, this isn't what I was looking for.
I have to say, for a guy who has supposedly got 77,000 subscribers, he's so far got only 252 views.
Yeah, right.
And 37 likes. I mean.
Dude, this is bullshit. You guys want some hardcore stuff? Go watch Brother Nathaniel.
Brother Nathaniel, huh?
Dude, do you guys not know who Brother Nathaniel is?
No, I'm always a new Christians too.
Dude. Oh my god. Brother Nathaniel is fucking hilarious. You guys have to fucking check this guy out.
Is he for real or is it satire?
No, he's legit, dude.
Because he looks like a joke, dude. What is he, like Eastern Orthodox or something?
He's I believe he's Greek Orthodox, but
Yeah,
dude,
he looks like it.
You're saying he's a legit nutcase.
Oh, I'm
oh my god,
These
his
are just
videos are amazing.
his hateful ones almost. Or funnier, actually, like Kent Hovind and fucking like Ken Ham. Them guys are. I mean, yeah, they're peddling misinformation and they're science deniers, but they're idiots more than anything. So I really can't take them seriously. But like Stevie Anderson's just a hateful bigot, and people buy into his shit, dude. Like fucking, like I mean, like he's actually had like congregants fucking disown
What the fuck?
they're gay and shit.
Keep the chips away from the mic.
I was folding them up. Calm down. Now they're opening. I'm sorry. I'll quit. I don't want my chips to go stale.
Fuck me, you must be never going to the cinema with you prick.
That's fine. We probably won't ever go to the cinema together anyway because you're like 8,000 miles away from me. So, and if I do come to UK, it ain't gonna be to go to the movies.
Yeah, and we call it the movies, not the cinema.
Well, I understand what you mean, but I will be in the UK within the next couple of years though, because I'm gonna go to Germany to see my family. So, I'm gonna make a point of going.
Don't come to a cinema. I go to the cinema anyway. Got my own home cinema.
If we do go to the cinema, I won't bring any chips, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Hot dogs only.
Try talking again. Let's see if you're still breaking up.
Me?
No, 40 was crackling a little bit.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, you're a little bit crackly.
Oh.
All right. Whoa, voice had to drop out. Okay, so well, let's go on to the Christians a little bit more. So is that all they were arguing is about Jesus being white or some crap?
There's a few different ones. Like one of them was they were talking about Revelations, and I was just telling them, you know, that fucking they were talking about Revelations and how the King James version of the Bible is the only true correct version of the Bible, and I'm like, yeah, you know, because a book written in the early 16th century. I mean, that's, you know, that's totally believable. And, you know,
right.
I mean, I'm sure they got all the. I'm sure they translated from Aramaic and Hebrew perfectly into Greek, and then from Greek into English.
Right. I mean, anyone heard of Chinese whispers?
Right. So I was arguing about that, and the one where, you know, like I said, he was white. You know, I'm like, he's a bigot anyway, as it is. But like, I'm like, wow, you really are a bigot. And I'm like, you can't stand the fact that your fucking savior looks like a Muslim, can you? And someone fucking they like. The funny thing is I'm the atheist, and they are the first to name call. Like, I'll lay out a logical argument, and they'll fucking come back and just call me a dipshit and an asshole and just all kinds of names, dude. They, you know, like that's their go-to is ad homs. They have no, they don't actually have any argument to counter my argument ever. It's just instant ad hom.
Have you ever tried bringing up the Council of Nicaea and how they disregarded?
Yeah. Or bring up the Apocrypha. You know, the Apocrypha. That's where all of the inconvenient bits ended up.
Yeah, was that the 3rd century or the 4th century BC or AD?
Well, that was what was his name? Constantine, wasn't it? So it was Emperor Constantine.
It would have been right 4th century AD,
yeah.
So 300s. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was certainly a long way after, you know, the supposed you know, miracles.
I can't remember. I just couldn't remember exactly what century it was.
I don't know. Was it 400? No, I think it was earlier than 400. Constantine thing. Because the main reason that they did that anyway was because finances. I mean, that was their reason for doing it. You know, because there were too many. Again, diversity was not working. Mm-hmm. They had all of these different groups.
Yep, they needed a book that was all, you know, all the same.
They could all sign up to, so they wouldn't keep the shit out of each other and keep burning half the city down every other weekend.
Yeah, they had.
They were like football hooligans of the old days.
Yeah, and they all just joined the same team, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. And anything that they didn't agree with, they turned into the Apocrypha.
So this is what's great about having this history book right next to me. All right, so in 325 AD, the first council of Nicaea had been convened to define Christian doctrine and had rejected Arian beliefs. Arian beliefs, interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah,
What kind of bookstore are you going to? Okay, this is getting disturbing now.
I believe they're talking about Arian as in the
Arians.
like Iran area, the Zoroastrianism.
Yeah,
Right, okay, not Aryan, Iranian, not Aryan.
Well, I'll tell you how
You
it's
mean
spelled.
Byzantine? Well, Iranian.
Arian.
Yeah, it's Aryan. If it was Iranian, it would be IRN, AN. IAN, right? Iranian. So no, this is definitely an Aryan book that you're reading. Does it have a swastika on the cover?
No, asshole.
Oh shit.
No, but there are some inside the book. But that's probably
Iranian, Aryan.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah.
Did the guy who sold you it have a hood on?
No, and I don't know.
Aryan spelled A-R-Y-A.
Arian.
Well, yeah, it could be with a Y. Yeah, the Y. Aryan. Yeah. Although I thought it was interchangeable. I didn't think it was one specific way, but it could be.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, 40, is your mic fixed now, bud?
Anyway, tell us about your Aryan Bible.
So tell me, what else to say about that? It's spelled wrong, but
Come on, man.
Oh, I'm getting back to it. I lost the page because I was starting to look for swastikas thanks to you. No, like wait a minute.
Maybe.
Rise of Rome, the latter Roman Empire, fall of the Western.
so tell me more about this book.
All right. The Byzantine Empire.
It's called the Aryan Guide to History. But it's spelled
Tell me more
incorrectly.
about the book.
The Aryan Guide to History. You're a fucking dick, Cabbage. I don't know. It just says it's showing a picture. It says above in 325. Whoa, what was that? You guys still here?
I'm still here.
Still here.
Oh, fuck's sake. Now, Moles brought the blood control panel back in again. Shit.
Oh, okay.
You got
So what they're talking about here, what they're talking about is the Romanized Orthodox Christian king. He overthrew Odoacer, the Germanic Arian king of Italy. So that's what they're talking about. They had completely disregarded the Germanic beliefs and embraced the Christian beliefs. With the First Council in Nicaea when they created actual official doctrine of the Christian religion.
Yeah, that was Constantine, right?
Yeah, that's the creation of the whole Roman Empire. The whole Roman Empire that was created at that point, effectively.
Yeah, that was all Constantine.
Well,
It was all him. There's no one else to blame. It was all him.
Well, no. Constantine created the Byzantine Empire and moved the capital to Constantinople. The Holy Roman Empire came out of the ashes of the Western Roman Empire later on. That was led by the French king, freaking Charlemagne.
Yeah.
Wrong. Constantine had a vision while he was going over a bridge. It was one particular battle, and he said that he had a vision and that they should put the white cross onto their shields, and that would protect them.
But he was bring Christianity together, is what we're saying. He was the first ruler to adopt it and make it one.
Yeah, it was the birth of the Roman Empire. The Holy Roman Empire. The whole Catholic Church.
It was the Byzantine Empire, but I think Charlemagne was the first Holy Roman Emperor.
Yeah,
But I think that
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, no, well he was, I guess, the first pope, but the emperor. I mean, well, that's the trouble, right, with the pope, because they're an emperor, they're also a king, and they're all, and then like bishops are, like cardinals are actually priests, technically. I mean, it is actually a royal, structure, exactly the same as our royal family over here.
Well, no, and in the chat,
Like when Queen Elizabeth.
in the chat, Welsmere Stories says Constantinople equals Istanbul, Turkey. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And if I had
same thing.
if I had my way, Istanbul would be renamed back to Constantinople. But I'm a that.
Well, it's like that old song, isn't it? Is it Istanbul? It's Constantinople. I mean, it kept swapping hands so often. It's basically the whore of the Middle East.
But the Council of Nicaea threw out a lot of text that was read in everyday Christian world at the time. And they actually created whole sects of people who were, quote unquote, preaching the wrong doctrine, infidels. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why when you say that somebody...
Constantine was the Roman emperor.
Okay, what's the subject right now?
Well, Constantine right now.
Yeah, the first Council of Nicaea.
Oh, when the creation of the Apocrypha, the separation, like trying to make one conformist religion that everyone could agree in Rome, so they didn't keep burning each other.
Right. Honestly, I'm more versed on Constantine's military and political stuff, honestly. But it's kind of ironic considering that I'm a Catholic here.
Well, don't you think when he consolidated the actual religion of Christianity into Catholicism, that was all for political motivations, was it not?
It was for
financial, I think.
It was for both political motivation and for reasons of faith.
Because I think finance came into it a big way. That's the reason that they had to create it in the first place.
Number one, for political motivation, if you're running an empire, you don't want everyone burning each other and accusing each other of heresy every 5 seconds. And faith, you need to know what you believe. Like the Nicene Creed is a prayer in Catholic Church. I believe in one God, the Father Almighty, such and God, so on, so on, so on, which basically outlines what was established in the Council of Nicaea.
Well, it's not really one God, though, is it? It's God, the Father, and the Holy Spirit. So it's the trilogy.
Logical question. Basically, those are the three aspects, the three persons of God, but it's still one.
They're supposed to make a whole, So the three.
Okay, so God's basically one person with three, so he's schizophrenic. Good stuff.
Yeah. So that's basically what I know about it. Yeah. So
there's a story that says that Constantine, before a battle, seen a giant cross in the sky, and that's why he switched to Christianity.
It wasn't
exactly.
It wasn't the cross; it was the Kairos.
Oh, okay.
Yes, the double cross actually.
Anyway,
basically a P with an X going through it.
Yeah. Well, it was almost very much like the Egyptian symbol, wasn't it?
They really think what it was his mother Helena was a Christian well before he became the emperor in the first place.
Yeah, Helena was a Christian, and Constantine was actually crowned in Europe. Actually, fun fact.
Yeah, that's about as furthest as far as my knowledge goes on Constantine.
I know a little bit about his sons, though.
Who were his sons?
He basically had 4. His eldest was a guy called Crispus, who he had with a wife. Who he had with a wife before his second wife, and Crispus was executed because of a false rape accusation. Feminism. Listen, which is
actually
kind of sad because Crispus was actually a pretty good general. He probably would have made a good emperor because everyone loved him, and he had a pretty good abilities.
And then the woman made a false rape accusation. Well,
It was
wonderful.
basically his stepmother because she wanted Crispus out of the way so Constantine's second son would get the throne. Crispus wasn't her son. Constantine's second son was her son. A guy called this is where the names get very creative. Constantine's second son was what was it? Oh yeah, also called Constantine. His Constantius, and his youngest son was Constans. And
Not very creative back then, were they?
Except for Crispus. That one got, I mean, he got lucky.
It would have been better if it had been like one called Bert. That would be like a Bert in the middle somewhere.
It's not a very Latin sounding name.
No, but it would have been good, wouldn't it? Bert.
Bertus.
Yeah. Emperor Bert.
Emperor Bert. Yep.
yeah, it's kind of like in later in Byzantine history, you have Nicephorus, then you have first you have I think I forgot who comes before, like these very Greek sounding names. Then you have Nicephorus, and then finally you have just John after that. But even though like even though in Greek he would be called Ionas or something.
That's great. Welsh Stories is on it today.
What happened to those poor bastards?
No, but Welsh Smirch is
What
just
happened
on
to the
point
poor
today.
Greeks? You see?
He's in the chat. He's like a false rape accusation, like Weinstein. Like fucking a Welsh Smirch on it today.
You know what? Actually, Constantine, because I don't actually know how Crispus was executed. I think he was hanged or something. I don't know. I haven't.
From the documentary I saw on the History Channel, which doesn't necessarily make it true, he was actually stabbed before his father could retract an execution notice after he figured out, this doesn't seem right. Yeah.
Well, Crispus, after Constantine found out that it was a false rape accusation, he basically had his second wife, Fausta, who accused him, drowned. So at least he had a penalty for a false rape accusation.
Yeah, and it had to have been, and the allegation had to come from someone of high social standing, or else nothing would have ever came of it. Because back then people in power pretty much could do as they wanted. That's the way it was.
Well, yeah, but
it was a woman, and women were generally held in low.
Oh, you know that his full name was Flavius Julius Crispus, and he was Caesar of the Roman Empire.
Mm-hmm.
He was firstborn son of Constantine and Minerva. Hold on, I'll see how he died.
Constantine's eldest married her cousin.
It's pretty brutal back then. Families were not exactly integrated. We talk about, the family units today. They were pretty dysfunctional back then.
He was executed by his father's orders. Soon after Constantine had his own wife, Faustus, killed. She was drowned in an overheated bath.
She was drowned, or she drowned?
She was.
Just checking. Okay, there was a helping hand.
Right. That's what I call an execution. None of this pussy firing squad or hanging stuff. No, you drown them in a steaming hot bath. That's what I call an execution.
Just throw in some onions and a few carrots and stuff. You got to stew.
It doesn't say how he was executed.
Yeah, he was likely, or he probably he was probably stabbed or something because.
Yeah, or poison maybe. Since he was a royal,
wanted to see his eldest son dangling from the gallows or have his head rolling around on the floor.
Right. Yeah, that'd be a little rough for him.
Maybe
it was boiling oil. Would have been a fondue, wouldn't it?
Maybe they just made him drink poison.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Since he was a royal, it was probably poison or stabbing. You're right. They wouldn't have. They wouldn't have hung him. That's
maybe
too. That's safe for commerce.
Strangling someone with a silk cord was possible too.
Yeah, that is possible. I forgot about that. Like the rope.
Well, he was a general of the Roman army, right? So he would have been stabbed. He would have been given a honorable death, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he won a pretty big victory in the Bosphorus for him. Let me see if I can call it up.
See, that's the one thing I find really weird about Roman society is the honorable thing is for you to kill yourself. You know what I mean? It's really weird.
Well, not really. The Japanese have the same principle, right? You know,
And I think that's
you fail,
weird too.
Harry. Well, you had the same thing in Britain, and in fact, you know, all around Europe, it was, you know, if you failed, it was like the, you know, the captain going down with the ship and all that kind of thing.
You had the Croatian general who did it recently. You guys don't know that? Remember at the
About what? What, a Korean general?
Croatian. The Croatian general.
Croatian. Well, you know, Croatians, 10 a penny. Who cares?
There's that many generals in Croatia?
Well, I don't know.
He was that.
I mean,
He was being sentenced to. He was being sentenced to. He was brought to the Hague for because they found him guilty of war crimes. But he basically went, I don't think I'm guilty of war crimes, and drank poison because he didn't think he was guilty of war.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, wasn't he the guy who was also with what the hell? No, not Lech Wałęsa. What the hell was his name? The bloody Yugoslavian leader, you know, who ended up Slobodan Milosevic. Yeah, that man.
Battle in the group. I'm going to put it in the side.
Milosevic. Slobodan Milosevic.
As you can see,
That sounds like a name you can trust.
Try and say that when you're drunk. Slobodan Milosevic. These people can't even name themselves reasonably. Why should we take them seriously?
They're always drunk. That's why their names sound like that.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, it's all the vodka, isn't it?
Vodka. Nah.
But when considering the Roman Empire, I mean, the Byzantine Empire kept going for quite a while. But after they separated the empire to west and east, the Western Empire fell within, 50 years? Rather quickly.
Yeah, and you know why? Because of Islam. Because of Islam, backwards, and they ended up going back behind the years that they were. You know, they actually ended up regressing because of the adopting Islam.
Well, no, the Visigoths.
No, seriously, the Byzantine Empire was the most advanced, you know, empire in the world at that point. You know, the mathematics. Yeah, you know, and then, you know, along comes Islam and it turns them into a bunch of, you know, backwards.
The Byzantine Empire.
You know, camel herders.
But the Byzantines never converted to Islam.
No, I'm saying that when it split up, right, when the thing split and then the Islam got introduced, that's what eroded.
No,
all the science and technologies and everything.
The Western Roman Empire fell long before Islam came along. Islam came in the 7th century during the reign of the Emperor Heraclius.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Visigoths and other barbarian tribes out of Germania that mainly.
No, the Visigoths. No. Yeah, they trashed the Roman Empire in the Middle East. Yeah, that's how Rome got trashed. Yeah, that was the Germans, the Visigoths. They came from the north. I'm talking about the Middle East.
You heard of the tragedy of Emperor Heraclius? No, I was trying to do a Star Wars reference. Never mind.
Oh, yeah, that went over my Trekkie head. Like,
yeah.
But, okay, then.
Who cares to even go and watch the bloody Star Wars anymore?
I mean, we could fast forward to the First Crusade because that was kind of the downfall of the Byzantine.
That's the 4th Crusade, not the first. The first saved it.
Did the first?
Yeah.
I would contend that the first set up its destruction because they they made a deal with the Crusaders and broke the deal, and so the Crusaders were no longer helping.
No. The Byzantines never broke the deal. What basically happened was they were honoring the deal, but then the ambitious Norman Bohemond basically tricked the Byzantine general into saying that there was a plot against either him or him and the emperor's life, or something along that. And because of that,
once again, demonstrating you cannot.
You roboted there for a second.
Again, proving that you can't trust the French. Yeah.
The Normans weren't French.
Well, they were kind of. Well, they are generally.
We're probably.
Well, no, they were Vikings if you want to get down to nitty-gritty, fair enough. But either way, they were living in France. The French, fuck them. They were still duplicitous pieces of shit. That's what happens when you land on that portion of the earth.
Well,
you become French.
Well, we English are probably more Norman than the French are. Well, at least me, because I'm a Southerner. You're a Northerner, so you're probably going to be more Saxon.
Yes, exactly. Yes, we retain the quality.
Never forget.
Yeah. Southern woolly-backs.
Well, at least we have better accents than you.
Go, please, spare me.
Well, basically, Bohemond tricked the Byzantine Constantinople, and basically said, "Hey, the Byzantines have abandoned us, so we don't anymore." And after that, they took the city of Antioch, and he basically.
What is all this background noise? So I'm sorry, but it sounds like somebody's rubbing their microphone against a testicle. Whoever's doing that, would you mind stop? Is that you, Mole, again, with some fucking?
It's not me. I swear. I promise you, it's not me.
Yeah, it's you with your snacks.
Yeah, I swear it's not. I swear you, it's not.
It was Mole.
It was not. I'm innocent, I tell you.
Eating chips again on the job, Mole. What the fuck?
I wasn't. But no,
he wasn't. He was rubbing his mic on his testicles. A sick bastard.
You're right. You figured me out, man. I'm so embarrassed.
Sorry, mate. Somebody had to call you out at some point. This is actually.
I deserve it, dude. I deserve it. You fucking nuts. But go on, Wood. I swear I'll quit rubbing it on my testes.
Please. Would be appreciated.
He gets aroused by Bohemond deceiving Byzantine commanders.
So the reason I'm saying that the Byzantine Empire went back is because they had surrounded. I don't think it was Antioch, but they had surrounded a Muslim city, and they had it pretty much completely surrounded. And the Byzantines came in. They were like, "Hey, these Crusaders came from Europe. They're barbarians. They're going to slaughter everybody. Surrender to us." And they did. And that really pissed off the Crusaders. They wanted their booty. They wanted to go in there and rape and pillage. And they got shot down. The Byzantines took over instead. Now, yeah, the deal was the Crusaders sack the city and give it back. They probably weren't going to give it back, let's be honest. But they hadn't violated the deal yet.
Actually, they probably were all planning to give it back except for Bohemond, because Bohemond, even though I really like him, he was an ambitious, duplicitous piece of shit, honestly. I mean, even after he conquered Antioch, he was basically going around Europe trying to assemble an army to attack Byzantium.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I'm not sure what happened to him, but basically, I think that at the end of his life, the attack on Byzantium failed, and he was kicked out of Antioch, and he went back to Sicily and died a broken man.
Huh, interesting.
Is anyone there?
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, can you hear us, Cabbage? if we're going to keep having technical difficulties, but yeah, you're breaking up, Cabbage. I don't even know if you can hear us. Mole had to bounce out and go cook dinner. I think this might just be a short show today. We keep having technical difficulties. I do apologize.
It was Paul that was holding the whole stream together.
Yeah. No. Yeah, see, I think Cabbage keeps going in and out. Yeah, I think we're going to call it good today due to technical difficulties. The Redeye will be on again tomorrow, hopefully a full 2 or 3 hours. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. But yeah, I'm going to have to cut it short because of technical difficulties. Have a nice night, everybody.